Where does Dragon Age, the Veilguard, take place? The locations in Dragon Age, the Veilguard include Minrathous, the capital city of Tevinter, where the adventure begins. Rivain, a location in the game. Arlathan Forest, a location in the game. The Lighthouse, the base of operations, where players and their companions can stay. Dragon Age, the Veilguard is an action RPG game set in the fictional world of Thedas. The game is being developed by BioWare and published by Electronic Arts. It is scheduled for release on October 31st, 2024 for PlayStation 5, Windows, and Xbox Series X/S. It was intended to be a smaller, more narrative-focused game set in the Tevinter Imperium region of the game's world setting, Thedas. Locations in Dragon Age. The Veilguard covers the various areas that players can discover as they progress and play through the game. In Dragon Age, the Veilguard location is set in Tevinter Imperium, a region in Thedas. The game was intended to have a smaller setting and more narrative-focused gameplay. The Dragon Age series is home to 3 core games, with Dragon Age Origins, Dragon Age 2, and Dragon Age Inquisition. Each game explores its own story and puts you in the role of a different protagonist who is unrelated to the previous heroes. For the most part, the games are set within southern parts of the world, and while you could technically call them standalones, all of the games are interconnected to an extent. Every entry builds on the world of Thedas to reveal more about the history, cultures, and tensions of its peoples. In the game, players must forge a fellowship to challenge the gathering storm that threatens the fate of the world. The game features single-player, character customization, savage combat, secret magics, friendship, drama, and romance. Dragon Age Origins, Dragon Age 2, and Dragon Age Inquisition are all set within the Dragon Age, which is the 9th age of the Chantry calendar, the most commonly referred to calendar in-game. Dragon Age Origins takes place in 930 Dragon, during the 5th Blight. The story of Dragon Age 2 then also begins during the 5th Blight in 930 Dragon, and takes place over the course of around 7 years until 937 Dragon. Dragon Age Inquisition is set some years later in 941 Dragon. The Dragon Age Trespasser DLC then takes place 3 years later in 944 Dragon. There have been some varying statements as to when Dragon Age, the Veilguard, is said to be set in the timeline. John Epler said in an interview that the new adventure takes place 9 years after Inquisition, while Trickweeks recalled that it may be 952 Dragon, which would place it some 10 years after the events of the previous. The consensus currently seems to be that it's around 9 to 10 years.